Welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be talking about a different topic in bodybuilding, and it's amazing. Why? Because it's something that's left out in your bodybuilding cycles. And for some particular reason, everybody is concentrating in just testosterone, TRT, your prescription testosterone. But in this case, we're going to be talking how you're going to be expanding your cycle with something that's left out. Yep. And you're going to see that this is really true. First off, when you're building your testosterone cycle or your, gear cycle, whatever your, anabolic steroid cycle, you're like, oh my God, I need testosterone as a base. I need this other compound. I need Primo. I need an oral. Yeah, because I want to cut. So I'm going to use Anabar. But what happened to the supplements? What happened to everything else that we're actually needing so you could get huge, pumped, freaking use and amplify and enhance the gear itself? And here we go. Vitamin D3. Yup. Vitamin D3 in bodybuilding is amazing because it has a strong link with testosterone. The sunlight is mandatory when you're taking D3 for both reasons. It increases natural testosterone, so we don't need to pin more testosterone. So this means more out of your cycle with less frequency of pinning or a higher dose of testosterone. It enhances the anabolic matrix components, and it's great for muscle growth. In your workouts, it builds up strength. So a low dose divided in 2 times the AM at 7 and at PM. Amazing, because when you're sleeping, you're also growing. So add this to the cycle. Another one, milk thistle. Milk thistle is amazing also because it's going to protect your liver, but not like protecting it like, building a shield. What it does is that, let's say that this is your liver, right? And the liver itself has veins, but there's a main vein I like to call the eyeball. And this eyeball has millions and thousands of little tiny veins and vessels in it. So what milk thistle does is that when the blood is so thick in your anabolic cycle, it creates this almost like a slower effect push. So it's pushing the anabolics through the liver. And you're like, oh my God, it's so hard. So it's stressing the liver and making it work harder. So milk thistle, it facilitates, so it amplifies the vein and it makes it wider instead of it's narrow. So it's not narrow anymore. When you add milk thistle, it makes it wide. So everything is potent and it's building faster. It allows your body to use the anabolic steroids and everything in the anabolic matrix so you can amplify the effect, and it protects you. Why? Less stress. Keep that in mind. Now, Tatka. What is Tatka? Tatka, it's a shield, basically. It cleans the liver kidneys and prevents elevation of liver enzymes. So that means after your cycle, you could start adding it in like 4 to 5 days when you're about to finish the hard cut. So when you're cutting, it's really important that you have this handy because you want to add it right there at day 4 before you end your cycle. So that means if you were doing a really hardcore steroid cycle, when you're using Winstrol, Primobolan, high dose Anabar at 100 milligrams, and you're about to cut, and you're using Winstrol at 100 milligrams every day, boom, 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 with DMP, with the yellow pill, Clen, everything, the whole 9 yards, you're putting a lot of stress. So you must have this handy with you at all times. So you put it, boom, you add it, and once you come off, you up the dose from 250 milligrams to 500 milligrams, and you're good to go on day 0. 500 milligrams for the next 24 days, boom. Liver enzymes go down, add, a Pedialyte with 0 sugar. They have them online, buy them. You will take about 1 or 2 daily, and you'll see those liver enzymes climbing down, and you're good to go for the next bodybuilding cycle. Another thing, aspirin. A lot of clients have come to me and they'll be, hey, I've been bodybuilding for 6 years. I feel like, headache and tension. I can't do these anabolics, especially Dianabol or especially halotestin. Halotestin is amazing, but it's really strong. So it's gonna elevate your blood pressure. So what you do, people know that they be taking 81 milligrams of aspirin. Why are you not taking your aspirin in the morning? If you're definitely doing halotestin, you need to take a second dose of aspirin at night. Why? Because when you're building muscle at night, you're at rest, at REM state. This means your heart rate is going to be about 70 to 66. If it's higher than that, then we need to bring that heart rate down. There's ways to do that, and I'll go through it, but your liver is going to make the blood pressure rise up because it's going like ballistic, and ballistic is trying to push back, so the blood flow goes up and rises, and you can't sleep, and you start getting all these crazy effects, and you're like, oh my God, night sweats like crazy. So what you do, you take another dose at night. It's gonna calm you a little bit, relaxes your muscles, so everything becomes more anabolic. Your metabolic state is also faster, so that means you could intake more food in the morning, your gut issues will go away, everything. So 2 doses if you're doing halotestin or even a NAP50 anadrol. So if you're doing those, remember, boom, do that. If you're doing more than 30 milligrams of Dianabol, up to 70, I see people doing 100, great. Remember to take 2 doses because we want your blood not too thick. It needs to be thin so it's fluent and you get better results. Do not combine it with oxycodone or morphine, because if you do high dose, then this means you're not going to build a lot of muscle. You will build some muscle, but if you want to gain, then you can't do that. So stay away from ibuprofen and Tylenol in a cycle. Do not take Tylenol if you're in a cutting cycle, because your liver enzymes are going to duplicate from 223 basically, or 176. That's the typical bodybuilding crazy ass cutting cycle. You'll see it at the end of the blood test. It will probably climb up to 976 up to 1,000, and that's a danger zone. You don't want to do that. Now, T3. T3 is something that a lot of people leave out when they're using Trenbolone. Trenbolone is a freaking really amazing steroid. It is. A lot of people don't touch it because they're scared they're gonna get what they call the tren cough. But really, you could get tren cough anyway from another steroid. So it's not called tren cough. It's called, gear cough. Or it could happen with testosterone. It could happen with EQ. It could happen with MPP, Deca, Durabolin, even stanozolol. It could happen with anything. If it goes in your bloodstream, boom. And you basically get it when you're pitting in the quads, close to a really thick vein artery that goes into the aorta, that the one in the region in the abdominal area, not the one in the heart. So you got 2 aortas, one in the abdominal region, one in the heart. So when you pin lower, you always get that effect, especially if you pin in the glute tren. So don't pin tren in the glute if you're getting that cough and you're getting, wild and like complaining, you're scared of it. Nothing's gonna happen. It's gonna go away eventually. If it happens, this is a technique that you could use and follow, and nothing will happen to you. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your tongue and stick it to the roof of your mouth, like this. When you're getting the tren cough, you're gonna hold your breath for like 3 or 4 seconds, and it's gonna go away. You're gonna be like, wow, that worked. Thank you. Now, with the T3, you must add it if you see in your obese and if you're in a trend cycle, you must add or T3 or T4. Always, always. Because it's gonna suppress it, it's gonna make it go crazy, and it's not gonna be stable, and you wanna always keep it really high because the body only absorbs about 70% of it, and you have to take it empty stomach right in the morning with no food. And these are the things that people are forgetting. They need to learn, and this is why I'm teaching you guys, so you guys know what to do and what to add and how to better your cycles to get amazing results. Now, T3 is threodethyroxine, thyroid hormone. Now, the psychological process of the body metabolites it, and it enhances the body temperature and heat rate. We will do this to monitor the blood levels in your system. So it's really important that you add it to your cycle because it will not only help you, it will help you not have that blood pressure that we were talking about. Okay? Now, what is TSH? TSH is the test that we need that you're going to ask your doctor to check your T3. And if you can't get T3 anywhere, get it prescribed. So if you're using Tren and you can't get it, go to your doctor really quick, have him do the test. He'll check. It's going to appear crazy as hell. They're going to be like, oh, you need T3, man. And like right now, boom, you get it. Secret. Now, lower cholesterol levels reduce body weight. So when you're using T3 or T4, you will also lower your cholesterol slight. But there's another thing that you could add to your cycle called simvastatin. Simvastatin is a statin that allows your body to bring those levels down, both good and bad. So don't use it for more than 45 days in your cycle because it's going to appear in a blood test like at 11 and 17. And that's really low. So what happens is that your body is going to allow itself to induce a state of extreme fat loss, but in the molecular level of your system, in your blood panel, it will show as a mutation. And this happens because there's basically no lipids in your blood. So this is like you're really healthy, but you also need lipids in your system. You need them because it builds strength. Your muscle needs them, and you need that energy to fuel your muscles in your workout, and you don't want to feel weak at all. Now, you should never, ever, ever use diuretics if you're using DMP, specifically in a cutting cycle right at the end, about, I would say, 11 days out. If you're 11 days out, yes, use it once, coming off the DMP. 36 hours later, you take it. You wait 12 hours, and then you take the diuretic, and then you start again on the DMP. That's the proper way to do it because you don't want freaking the cramps and you don't want the side effects. And if DMP is a serious compound. So I will put out a video about DMP, and it's going to be a long video. It's going to be like a 50-minute video, and it's going to have everything on DMP because I have a really high demand on questions with this compound, and I'm an expert with this compound, and I am a health professional, and I am going to teach you guys how to maintain your body, your physique with zero side effects using this compound and zero death rates. So it's really important that you keep this channel, subscribe, hit the bell button, and comment below, do all the jam, everything that you want in that video, all your questions, because I'm going to answer every single thing, and there's going to be 0% chance that you will not like this video because it's going to be amazing. Okay, so T4 is two things. it's divided in diodityrosine molecules, right? So it's a combined form of T3, T4, but it's tyrosine. And it's catabolic. So that means, what's catabolic? Catabolic means that it oxidizes fat, right? So T4 is actually way better than T3. So if you're given the option to take something with your trenbolone cycle or a cutting cycle, pick T4. About 75 milligrams and up if your cholesterol level is really high. If it's really low, 50 to 75 is fine because your body's only going to absorb from 76%. So that means you get 52, something like that. So you're not getting a lot, and it's by micrograms. So you have to take an empty stomach as well. Now, oh yeah, carnivore diets. What is the thing with carnivore diets? Carnivore diets are really good at about the third week into a cycle. Sometimes if you want to cut down some weight, you know, if you're in a cutting cycle, if you're in a bulking cycle, they're brilliant. They're brilliant. They're really good because you could add more protein, a little bit of carbs here and there, and not so much, but you could add them because if you're doing a leg workout, they're going to be burned anyway. So it's really good, carnivore diets. Now, I want to touch bases with carnivore diets because a lot of bodybuilders will be asking me about the creatine. And the creatine is oh my God, the supplement industry is like creating all these 10 types of creatines and like all of these kinds. But you could get your creatine from a, natural source, a steak, ground beef. Why are you going to take it in powder, man? It's the same thing. And you get more benefits. Slow digesting. Your pumps are amazing. I just had steak and look. See? Creatine, it gives you that boost of energy and the pump is great and you feel awesome and you can eat it before your workout. Oh my God, it's freaking amazing. So compare both. Do this. Grab it, the one that you have, take it, go to do your workout, compare your pump and how you feel. Do it with critical analysis, critical thinking. Write down 10 good things about it and 10 bad things about it. Then go and eat your steak the next day. Don't take the creatine. And do the same thing. 10 good things and 10 bad things about it. And you're gonna see that there's no bad things about it. You're gonna be like, what? What was I doing? So now you're gonna save 40 bucks to buy beautiful ribeye and just consume it for your flesh and muscles. So now, listen to this because it's really important. That's why I touch bases with the carnivore diet because it's about creatine. I wanted to touch bases with the creatine supplementation. So my tip for you guys. Now, oh yeah, I wrote it down because I wanted to cover everything, all the questions I've been getting. So, what is the best option to take your supplements? Is it injectable form, oral form, sublingual? Nah. No, don't do that. So this is the thing. There's a couple of paths. Vitamins, you could take them orally, IV fusion, or injection. What happens with the vitamins? Vitamins, typically orally, they were absorbed at 33 minutes and a couple of seconds into the system, into the body. So that's the absorption rate. They will still do their effect for about 6 hours, 12 hours. Most of them fade out about 16 hours later. So what happens? The body enters again into like, oh my God, depletion state where you feel like wasted. When you're about to do a workout and you're in the IFBB Pro level or you're at NPC level, you could find an injectable type vitamin and you could inject it into the muscles. What's this gonna do? It's gonna give you a boost of energy, of natural energy without the stims. So basically you get more out of your workout, You feel amazing for like 3 hours straight. So if your workout is like a 2-hour workout, inject it into the muscles. What happens? What benefits are you going to see from this? The muscles are going to look bigger, wider. They're going to feed from all those vitamins in the specific muscle group, just like a peptide does to open up a path in the anabolic matrix. But it will also, yes, in a cutting crazy cycle with anabolic steroids, it would also make you keep all your gains. Is that a secret? Yes, it's something that they keep. A lot of coaches keep this shit from everybody. And I am freaking pissed I'm pissed off, man. It's not supposed to be like that. They're supposed to tell the entire world about this shit. Why are you going to keep this information from people? I got to find out that shit by myself? It's not fair. It is not fair. So I'm telling you guys, this is something amazing. So if you're doing a crazy cycle, you don't have to be with the PTSD all over all your like brain and stuff and like thinking about all these things. And you can think about it in the proper way. Critical thinking. Do it. Do it. Logic reasoning. When you see how much muscle you retain when you inject the actual vitamins into the muscles, you're going to be like in shock. So that means if it's a Monday and you're doing shoulders, you inject it into the shoulders, divide it into shots, 50 IUs, 50 IUs. Now, if you're doing biceps, 50 IUs, 50 IUs. If you're doing triceps, 50 IUs, 50 IUs. What happens if you're doing biceps and triceps that day? Well, 25, 25, 25, and 25 IUs. So that's 1 gram, 1 cc, 1 ml. It's really easy, and it's going to give you a boost of energy. That's the freaking secret. So if you find it injectable, get it. And it is crazy. It is amazing. Now, I told you about the vitamins. Let's talk about the other routes. Sublingual. Sublingual is going to enter into the bloodstream really fast. A lot of people like to experiment with Anavar, with Dianabol, doing a pre-workout, Anadrol, and putting under their tongue 100 milligrams, crush it, and they put it right there. You could see a little boost, but it's going to give you a headache. So my recommendations is don't do it. Why are you going to do it? Because it's still powder. You're going to still end up, it's still going to end up going into your, intestines. It's not going to absorb completely. It doesn't have PEG 400, which is the conversion they use to convert, some of the powders with SARMs. So if it's not like that, don't do it. Now, if it's with a liquid form, and there's a way that you found out that there is a way to put it in a dropper and just have it absorb, go for it. It works. But if it's not, if it's a powder, don't do it, man. It's not going to work. It's not the right way to do it. Sublingual, if it dissolves into liquid, yes, that's the proper way medically to do it. And I'm a health professional. I'm teaching you guys. So what other paths are they? Oh, yeah. I had this, I had to put it out because this is something that it could be dangerous. It's serious. I'm just going to go straight forward. I had someone told me, and it was real. He put down his rectum, 10 pills of Anavar. You know what happened? He said, oh my God, I felt it was amazing. I was like, I'm just telling you what I did. And I'm like, okay, this is good for, good for science to know, but don't do it. This is the reason why. It's going to cause bleeding, blistering. It's going to cause severe dehydration within the intestine area. What happens when it enters into the, your rectum? Well, he became so dehydrated, he was constipated for like 8 days out of that dose. So what happened? He ended up going to the hospital. They end up giving him a flush because everything that he ate that day got stuck. So don't do it that way. I've never done it that way. I'll never will. But there's people that actually do some crazy shit, and they come at me and they told me, hey, what route should I do it? What route should I take it? Well, if it's a pill, take it orally. If it's oil, inject it. If it's oral liquid, then you drink it or you put it sublingual. So that's the actual way to do it. Okay? So keep that in mind. Now, okay, topic, milk. Why is milk bad in a bodybuilding cycle? Well, milk has an IGF factor. It does. Also, breast milk has an IGF factor, which is much more beneficial than any milk that's out there that's not made for humans. What happens? Calcification in the blood. Too much calcium, hypercalcemia, or hypercalcemia. It doesn't matter. What it does, it masks the compounds that you're taking. So if you spend $10,000 in gear and you're at like week 20 and you haven't saw results, it's because you're still drinking milk. So cut it out of your cycle completely and maybe change it to almond milk, coconut milk, or some other type of milk that's not, from like cow milk. Because it's not made for us. It's not made for the body. If you want to have veins and be vasodilated and feel the pump all the time and feel great and amazing, don't drink. It's going to take away at least an entire 7 to 8 months from a whole year of your life in bodybuilding. So don't do it. How do I know this? Because I coach people that are way more advanced, or at least they've been bodybuilding for 10, 12, 15 years. And they told me, hey, how many years have you been bodybuilding? How many years did it take you to get this huge? So 8 years? I'm like, no, it only took me 45 weeks. He's like, no way, that's impossible. Like, yes, it's possible. I'm an expert, so I'll teach you. So I'm teaching them. I'm actually getting all these, puzzles and putting them together. And I find out milk each time, not with one, not with 100, but about 200 and something people. And this is people that I coached. So milk, found out, it's not good for bodybuilding. It does have IGF factor, maybe a small dose, but they're drinking like 12 cups of milk a day, and you need water. And what happens with calcium? It creates calcification all over your bodies. And if it creates calcification in your main artery, when you're freaking putting high doses of anabolics or low doses of anabolics, the left chamber of your heart is going to be saturated so bad, it's going to cause ischemia. And then what's going to happen? You're going to have weakness on the left arm, and boom, heart attack. And you don't want that. This is real shit. You guys should listen to this, because this is something that you need to understand. When you're dealing with a cycle with anabolic steroids, you need to comprehend that it is serious too. There's ways to mitigate it, yes, but find out, read, and don't go to Reddit, because you have trolls. You got a lot of people that'll be telling you do D-ball with Anabar. What the hell, man? Don't do that. At least go inside, search, what is Anabar? Oh, it's cutting cycles, okay. What is D-ball? Oh, metandienon. Oh, that's for bulking. So why are you going to put them both together? Why? There's also SARMs, Ligandro, S3, S23 for cutting and bulking. See, there's a lot of things that you could actually search and find out. For every SARM, there's a steroid. For every steroid, there's a SARM. And you should always find out how to balance them so you use less and you get an explosion of benefits. And it's possible. Okay? Now, iron. Iron is something that they're leaving out in their cycles. Some people are really deficient in iron, especially when you're using compounds. And in the blood test, it will actually show that this is something that's really happening in everybody's blood tests. Their iron levels are going to be really low, and that causes anemia. And what happens with that? When you're too anemic, you feel weak. That means your body is not receiving the actual oxygen it needs. You're not going to be able to create the nitrogen that you need for those muscles. So that means that you need to take the iron. You must take the iron in the morning and make sure that you're always supplementing with iron. How do you know if you have too much iron? Well, you'll be a little bit constipated. You could actually dose it like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You'd be like, oh, perfect. I'm going 3 times a day. I'm good to go. And if you're doing opiates, this is a different story. That means that you still need iron. You just need to cut back on opiates or this kind of deal and take docusate. Docusate is something that you could use if you're having constipation. It's over the counter. And you take 2 or 3 at nighttime. In the morning, you go and flush out immediately. And you're great to go. You're great. You feel amazing. Iron is really important. The minerals are going to bind to it. And also, it's going to carry itself nutrients to the muscles. So you must comprehend that iron is really important, okay? Add it to your cycle. Now, it's going to help you with weight loss as well. So determined. You really need to think about this, hardcore. It's not only the gear, supplements are also important. So, vitamin K. Why do I add vitamin K to the cycles? The benefits of vitamin K help various protein synthesis. So that means there's a lot of protein sources. Not only one, there's 7 different types of proteins. So in the body, the cells is putting them together. And what's inside, they're leaching out, boom, 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 connecting. So they can't be synthesized. They can't be eaten by the cell. So if that doesn't happen, that means what happens? It transforms into fat. Yup. Lipids are great, but in excess, it's bad. So when you want to balance it out, you add that vitamin K. You get it from where? Cauliflower. You can get it from vegetables, but a lot of people don't like vegetables, so add the vitamin K. Add it, especially if you're not eating 1 pound of cauliflower or broccoli or any vegetable, then you need to add the vitamin K. Remember, if you're not eating 1 pound a week, you need to add vitamin K, okay? Quick reference. And I could go really deep on this, but this is already getting long, so let me keep going. If you are doing a keto diet, how do you know if you're in ketosis? There's 2 ways. You're gonna feel a sugary taste in your tongue. You do like that. You'd be like, oh wait, I haven't had sugar, but it's almost like a sugar taste when you wake up in the morning. And the second way, keto strips. So buy keto strips, test it out. If you're at 17 or 18, you're at max ketosis. If you're at 13 to 16, around there is moderate. And lower is right in the center. You always want to keep it from 16 to 18 when you really want to lose weight. And that's keto. And I'll do a video about that. Okay, so we talked about iron and how you feel it. You feel different when you're on it. So iron is really important. Remember that one. I don't want you guys to forget what it does. So it's a chief component in hemoglobin. And it transfers oxygen in the blood so you can burn fat easy on a steroid cycle. And it helps the immune function and everything else in your body. You could look it up. I don't want to make this video boring. So fish oil. Let's talk about fish oil. Fish oil helps the heart to remain anabolic and process all the hormones. So that means you need it also. If you're not taking it, you're going to feel weak in your workouts. And if you're not eating fish, you're not a fish person, that means you really need to supplement with it. Because if you're deficient at your workout, that means you're not going to be able to, make more muscle. So does it make sense to you? Yes, it should, right? So my 2 cents, zinc, finally. Zinc, it's actually really important. Zinc will help you have zero acne. Zero acne. I take zinc at high dose cycles with sustanon. And you know that sustanon is the main cause of acne in bodybuilders. They don't know it, but I know it. So sustanon is one of the things that would actually make your acne worse. So if this is happening, just switch it out to testosterone nantate and you'll be good to go. And at day 7, add testosterone cypionate in your cycle, just a little bit if you're going low dose or on TRT, and you'll be like, wow, this is amazing. I have zero acne, but add the zinc, and it's gonna be amazing for you. It acts as immune support. It gives your system a boost of energy. If you're doing keto and you got the keto flu at day 4, which is the time frame it develops, zinc, magnesium, boom, no more keto flu, like in an hour. So it also is great for wound healing. So if you're like the one that's doing that to your zits and everything, it will actually help you with wound healing and faster recovery when you're crushing your workouts at the gym and building and creating that freaking amazing muscle we love to do. So it's a powerful antioxidant. I just wanted to touch bases with you guys so you guys know what to add in your cycles. This is just a little bit and my 2 cents on what are the supplements that you could actually incorporate to your cycles so you could have an amazing transformation and always stay connected and elevated and be superhuman. So this is my video. I love you guys and stay focused, stay motivated, enhanced athletes. This is Coach Elias from Enhanced Athletes. Get you some.